Hey, what's up guys, it's Oakley, and we'll be doing a siege, a massive battle with the Skaven swarms trying to take out Tor Yvresse. This is going to be pretty freaking cool. So lots of these siege towers moving forward, and then a whole battery of plague claw catapults firing into the city, and just as Skaven do, firing into the backs of the siege towers as they mobilize. So you don't have the best line of shots here, line of fire, but that's okay. We're going to fire nonetheless into the big ass Elven city. And he's going to start to hit the front lines of the Elven walls here, already at 89% damage. So we've got 3 players on either side. And yeah, one of our players went for mass plague claw catapults with some Skaven slingers to guard it, some storm vermin on the flanks, and then also a gray seer with the lore of plagues. So interesting little build. And then our other player here has pushed a lot of Skaven slaves. More than half his army is like Skaven slaves and clan rats, and the rest of the army is dumped into these really awesome hell pit abominations, which look freaking awesome with the blue skins here. And now it's gonna start merging with the tower behind it. But anyways, 2 of those guys pushing forward. He also has some more observed death globe bombardiers and a couple of the plague claw catapults. We have a lot of artillery. Meanwhile, my forces in the rear are going to be kind of interesting. So I have a quick head taker and then 2 of these assassins on this front. Another one over on this side, I believe. Yeah, here you go. And then kind of hidden in the back, I have some more units. So storm vermin with sword and shield. More guys in the back. Plague monk sensor bears, and then I have even more rat ogres. So I'm kind of going to be the guy hiding in the rear, and then some anti-infantry death globe bombardiers in the very back. So like I said, there is just so much going through the front that an additional army standing there isn't going to do much, so I'm mostly going to be held in the rear and in close support. In close support, this is what I was planning on doing, these assassins. I'm going to start bringing them almost every battle with the Skaven, because I feel they do so well. And that is, if you haven't seen my other battles where I talk about this, they have this ability here. Well, actually, I won't let me show it to you. But anyways, they have an ability that essentially drops for, I think, 30 or 45 seconds the enemy's attack by like 30 or 40 points. Basically, you can, and basically what you do is you move these guys into a blob, cast that, it's a one-time use, and it turns the tide of that battle heavily in your favor. And the reason I wanted to bring it into siege is if we're storming the walls, literally what I was planning on doing is popping an assassin below the walls and just, you know, proccing his ability and just hitting everything up here on the wall, which would allow us to swarm the wall easily, even if we have just clan rats. But anyways, the battle is going to be taking place pretty soon, so that's why I'm trying to get the commentary early on to show you what is going on before it's just a jolly good mess. One of the nobles for the elves here, they have a couple of Phoenix Guard and others positioned on the top, but most of their units are going to be held in reserve. They have a lot of these Lothern Sea Guard positioned up here, and they're actually going to start to, oh my god, fire off. These guys look so freaking glorious. I can't believe I haven't done sieges yet, but this is absolutely beautiful. I love the city, and thank God CA added a little bit more depth in sieges. But just imagine if we could play, you know, with this flank as well, and even play back into the courtyards, even between these cities, would be absolutely phenomenal. Hopefully modders can improve that. They actually have a general in the general's tent. That's super funny back here. So yeah, they basically have a mix of spearmen, white lions of Thrace, and archers, as well as some Lothern Sea Guard. There is also going to be a final holdout area with archers and then eagle claw bolt throwers overlooking the city. So it's going to be a pretty awesome defense. The enemy also has a bunch of these dragons. Not as many as you would have imagined. 1 star dragon here who's getting underway, but taking tons of volleys. Actually has a 2nd star dragon coming over here, and his goal is to try and take out this artillery battery. He's going to go ahead and land and try and take out one of them. Crushes that one upon impact. But just as he's doing so, that's why I brought in my assassin on the flank here to reinforce. And my rat ogres are popping out of the woodwork to hit this guy. And here comes my assassin. So he's going to come in. Foe Seeker is going to be popped to get him out of that engagement. But take a look at this other star dragon. Actually, I was calling them sun dragons before. It's a star dragon coming in here to try and land on more troops. And I'm going to unveil storm vermin with shield. And yeah, we should be doing it pretty well here. The enemy is threatening to hit our guys, but they don't really want to land because we can do so much damage to the sun dragons. So they're going to try and get some breath spells against that hits the crew, but really doesn't do too much. So the enemy is wasting a lot of time. Meanwhile, let's watch these volleys. That is so devastating, and it is killing everything up on the walls. Already one big chunk has been shattered here. We can stare through it at the masses of artillery coming through, and this is like Minas Tirith. Even some of those massive bolts going past. and this looks freaking cool. The gleaming citadels here are going to be hit with filth. Freaking epic. So yeah, we have a lot of artillery doing tons of damage in the front lines. Meanwhile, the ramparts are going to be beset by our Skaven slaves. They're going to start to hit these Lothern Sea Guard, which do have shields, so they'll be able to hold out decently. And you can see the enemy doesn't really have much on the front lines here. Looks like they were hoping to just pull back and defend in depth. A couple of these Hell Pit abominations have pulled through, getting in at the undefended archers and tearing through the causeways here. Pretty sweet. And this is where the damage begins. Oh my god. Melting these sword masters, etc. Tons of units here, and they're going to have to make it past the Hell Pit abomination. The archers here are going to stand strong and try and shoot back at him, but the rest of the units here are going to have to evacuate. In the main line over here, dragons have engaged, but I did have my assassin nearby, and he was doing a bunch of debuffs against the enemy, and we were able to kill, with the help of my rat ogres, our first dragon. This is going to be one of many prizes, and the bell tolls for this city. That is the screenshot right there. Freaking glorious. Oh my god. Sounding the doom of this city. So cruel. Oh my god. Epic stuff. Artillery continuing to fire, and we do have a doom wheel that's been able to push all the way through the front. This is crazy. I didn't even notice this in the battle. Just clanking away. Gonna try and get to the enemy's gates here, to the keep itself. These enemy are gonna try and brace, but it just plows through, continues to go, makes it all the way up to these guys, and let's see if it gets held back by the enemy archers, who are formed many ranks deep on the red carpet, soon to stain it with their own blood. But the dragon does come in, and he's going to be seeing it off. So that is one of the things they're going to use to hold back the enemy. So there you go. This doom wheel has been routed. Still has a fair amount of health, but is going to be forced off the battlefield to escape here. You know, let's put this on slow motion to analyze what's been going on. The enemy has pulled back to the central courtyard. Pretty dangerous considering they're within artillery range and we could super focus fire them. But anyways, they're pulling back with the Eagle Claws and just trying to hold back while continuing to bombard here. We've completely cleaved through the center. More Storm Vermin are going to be pouring onto the top. We even have Death Glow Bombardiers going to be pouring up. And you can see Lord Skrulk also here to pop some clan rats into the center. So the enemy definitely wants to fall back. We're going to start to push through. And now I'm finally going to pull up with some of my units here. Storm Vermin with Sword and Shield also going to be put up on the walls. Let's watch this mass of archers here in the plaza. This is fairly glorious with the dragons in the distance. God, there's something just absolutely beautiful about elves firing bows and arrows. So there they go. They're going to be coming over, hitting a lot of our units. And one of these Hell Pit abominations was killed by a bunch of these spearmen who are celebrating. And the arrows are going to try and rain down another Hell Pit abomination here. And it looks like the dragons are going to be dispatched to take it out. It's going to try and kill this princess here who's bashed against the rocks, but she does have reinforcements of her white knight. Going to be flaming right on top of this guy's head. Hell Pit abomination still doing pretty well. Now it's going to be focus fire. Let's watch this as we're pouring into the plaza here. Storm Vermin and shields. And what I'm going to be doing is pulling in with my 2 assassins. These guys are good against infantry blobs as well. So they're kind of the kings of these little groups. And they're going to be sent on a flanking mission around the side here soon as I pull up more guys. Quick head taker as well. And ooh, that was pretty punishing. But yeah, now that we've claimed the center, look at all these Death Glow Bombardiers firing into the massive units here. The Phoenix Guard threatening to bottle up our Storm Vermin, so we'll see how this approach goes. But some units have penetrated the center, plus Lord Skrulk. It's going to be allowing us to do some work. But it looks like the princess here was saved. And that Hell Pit is routing, pulling through the ranks, and it's going to see its way off the battlefield. The enemy is holding here with the Eagle Claw Bolt Thrower. Let's see what kind of shots it gets. And yeah, it can see the tide of Skaven coming. So they're just going to be told to fire into there with tons of archers as well. Circling eagles. That's pretty freaking cool. This is so cool. Fighting retreat here under the cover of bow fire. Let's see how much damage it's going to end up doing. They're going to be firing a bit into their own men against summon units, so not the best use of ammo. Yeah, they're going to want to focus more against our mass here. And I have a couple assassins, 2 of them actually, helping to tie down these spearmen. And they're there also to help debuff the prince. So trophy heads was popped. Each of these assassins, so I have 3 of them, plus quick head taker, has trophy heads, which is going to be excellent for forcing these lords back. And then here comes the assault. Troops charging up the center. And the enemy is going to try and hold from here. We'll see what they can do. More Skaven going to be raised from below. Our carefully laid plans, our tunnel network is now going to be used to full effect. Skaven coming out from underneath this area, trying to push forward. The enemy dragon is going to come back in, and they're going to hold here. Phoenix Guard as well, spearmen holding the pass. This is awesome. And then, of course, tons of archers in the rear firing away. So this is a position that's going to be pretty hard to crack. And so most of our Skaven are going to be pushing around the flank where the enemy has another hold fast position, and this tower does go down under continued artillery bombardments. It's going to start to come in range and start to hit these guys. Meanwhile, I have a flanking force getting around here. Headtaker is pumping up his guys, some storm vermin, an assassin, and 2 rat ogres. That's going to be pushed around this flank here soon. Let's watch this just panoramic and soak it all in. You know, people rag a lot on Warhammer 2 battles, and yes, a lot of it is just eye candy, but good God, you do have to appreciate that sometimes. It is freaking glorious. Let's keep an eye on the artillery division here. And yeah, I don't know why he's continuing to fire out the wall. Much better target would be to hit this blob in the center. So maybe that'll be our next priority. But yeah, with these spearmen holding flanks here, it's doing pretty well. They're choke pointing us, and our guys are starting to rout. Lots of damage being done to these guys, so the entire front here should be collapsing. So this is pretty epic stuff. I love the courtyard defense, and here these spearmen hut-toing to this position. Gonna try and fend us off a little bit more. Tents being taken down, but it doesn't matter. The Skaven are going down with them. We'll see how long that holds, as my guys are gonna come out from hiding on the flank. And now here they come. The enemy is totally not ready for this. So just as the bows are firing, these rat ogres are going to be unleashed. Looks like this force is a little bit scared. Lothar and Seaguard may be able to hold. But let's see as they plow right on through. Abandoning the Eagle Claw bolt throwers. And yeah, boom. Just tackling. I love the animation. The elves going to try and flee into, I guess, the ruins? I don't know where they're going, but they're going to get absolutely flattened. So here I come into the back. Meanwhile, the elves are going to pull out, but now they're within range of our artillery, and this is going to do so much damage. Rival High Talisman here, so there you go. That is going to be my assassins in the mix. Literally, look at this. I only have a couple assassins and clan rats, but take a look at the stats of these guys. Yeah. No melee attack on any of these guys. White Lions of Thrace, 0 melee attack. Lothar and Seaguard, melee attack. Everything here in this blob literally can't do anything. Mind you that melee attack is like the percent chance, or it relates to your chances of actually striking when you land a blow against someone, of actually doing damage. And so 0 melee attack means these guys are hitting with wet noodles. Don't know if they're actually doing any damage. Yeah, 42, 37. Oh, no. Trophy heads also popped. I was going to see if my guys had taken any damage, and now they're going to start to, now that it's worn off. A couple princes and lords going to be in the mix here, but the assassins doing pretty good against them, popping all sorts of abilities to drive them away. Ooh, and that takedown there was pretty awesome. Dragon's going to be committed as well, but I'm doing a lot to shore up these guys. And yeah, these assassins are pretty awesome units. Now here come my reserves. The rest of the Skaven has been pretty much taken out, and so it's going to be down to my guys hitting the enemy in the rear. And again, look at this. Rival Talisman, minus 44. Trophy heads as well. No melee defense, no melee attack on this dragon at all. It has been pretty much flatlined. Yeah, holy crap. As close to it as possible. And now with all our units focusing fire on him, he should be going down. Not even sure if he can extricate himself from this engagement. But he takes off. Rat Ogre wishing he could yank down on that tail. Ooh, bumps his head. He can't see straight. Anyways, now we're going to turn to more pressing matters at hand, the Phoenix Guard. They should be able to hold us pretty decently, but I have a lot of units now pouring up through the center, coming in, and the artillery also firing away. My assassins somehow still holding out and being able to focus fire on these swordmasters, buying time for the death runners here to armor sunder these white lions, as, yeah, they're going to see these guys off, and lots of these guys are going to start routing. So, yeah, these late reinforcements doing God's work, and the storm vermin as well coming in, turning about these slaves, trying to get them to charge in, and the enemy wishes they had some air of effect to cast in these streets. They probably should have brought more of those, but yeah, here we come. And more of my death bomb globadiers. Anti-infantry units going to be firing into the blob here, and so yeah, this enemy blob is going to be going down. It was pretty powerful while it could stand strong, but now that it's within range of our anti-infantry units, and especially the artillery, gonna be really bad. As well as the fact that the keep here is engaged. The enemy princes and lords are going to try and land amongst their men to rally the forces, and it will do some good, but they are super low on health. This pair over here doing pretty good. I don't know why they're not coming in and gangbanging Lord Skrolk. They should really take him out. Actually, looks like that's what this prince is going to do, trying to land on him. So the enemy is kind of holding strong, but mind you, I did bring up an assassin here, so I can pop, you know, he's popping all sorts of abilities for himself, quick head taker as well. And they can start to debuff this guy. So there you go, trophy heads being popped, and now we can focus fire against this prince, and more units gonna be coming back. Ooh, some flaming breath against these reinforcements, really helping to cut them off, some of them routing. But take a look at this prince, down to 520 health, and here come all my additional units, plague monks and censer bears, very elite units. I do want to see the death of this prince. There he goes, biting the dust, while, you know, aided by these Phoenix Guard. This is over for these guys. Now plague monks and censer bears gonna be coming here to prance about and lay filth to the city. They're savoring the final charge up the keep here into the citadel to just ruin everything with their filth. An eagle is gonna try and land amongst them. It can try and tear them up. Now these final two dragons do land, but he's gonna be landing amongst the corpse of his allies, and yeah, things are not gonna be looking good for him. Here is the holdout in this position. I'm going to surround him, and more units are coming around. In this engagement, we've been able to come in, clobber with the support of artillery and Deathglow bombardiers, and push through, and then now the enemy has had enough. This lord is routing off the battlefield, and this dragon is all they had left. The Skaven is going to be victorious. So that was a very, very cinematic fight. I hope you guys enjoyed. I really had fun on this one. I think it's a little bit crazy just how crammed these battles could be. I really hope that CA eventually, you know, by the time the third title rolls around, explores maybe having a little bit of a second engagement, because just imagine if we could have fought, you know, in this area here, or even had, you know, increase the depth of the defense, where the elves have like outposts out here with certain towers where you can hold that, pull back one set of walls, and then maybe another set of walls that you could defend. That would be freaking glorious. I'm hoping to see some multi-stage stuff. And look at that, even if you could fight in a giant courtyard like you're seeing over there, God, there's so much you can do. But then again, that's why we leave it to the modders to really make some awesome stuff. So that's it for this one. Let's end the replay and take a look at some of the stats here at the end. So my guy's getting a decent amount of kills, not too much overall. I was mostly the cleaning up operation. Death Runners getting in and doing some work. These assassins getting a lot of work done, fair amount of kills against expensive units, plus the debuffing that they did was awesome. My ally here, who was focused on kind of infantry and slaves, did pretty good. These Hell Pit Abominations looked ominous, but just didn't do too much. And the Plague Claws looked like they did the most amount of damage. I mean, 44, 39 on the Warp Lightning Cannon somehow. So he was doing work with the artillery. And I do think it's a little bit overkill to bring this much to a battle, but hell, I guess it worked. E squared here, I mean, they got a fair amount of kills on their units, but they were just so few in number that all the damage they took just sealed the deal. I think they would have done better with a couple Flamespire Phoenixes. I don't know why they didn't bring more of those guys. They can drop bombs, and especially in the confines of a city, they each get 10 bombs. You bring 3 of those, that's 30 bombs. You could destroy the infantry clusters that we had there. So I would have recommended that for the High Elves. A couple archers. Yeah, I mean, the rest of the composition was decent. I'm not convinced on the Eagle Claw bolt throwers and such confines, but hey, they're, I guess, fun thematically. And the Stark Dragons were a bit wasted early on, charging into artillery. They should have been saved for the late game. But, I mean, what are you going to do against artillery like that? You need something to shut them down, especially in those numbers, because otherwise they'll just come in and they'll just fire away. So, yeah, that's why I think those Flamespire Phoenixes would have done well. They could have just floated en masse above those artillery pieces and just dropped bombs to hell on them. So yeah, that's it for this battle. Hope you guys enjoyed. Stay tuned for more, and I definitely hope to bring more sieges to you soon. Peace out.